What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, pretty exciting, although I don't know what to do, and you're gonna see why in a second. As you can see right behind me, I got another MR2, and this MR2 was the right price because it was free. You heard that right, I was given this car for free. It's just a rolling chassis, but let's check it out. So this car is an 85 MR2. The body itself is pretty straight. It was crashed at one point, which the person disclosed to me, so you can see the bumper here is a little bit different of a color. The interior is straight, but it's really dirty. Like, I don't really want to touch too much because there's rat poop everywhere. But everything's actually here, which I'm super stoked on. And there's only a little bit of a crack in the dash up there. So guys, and here's just another quick shot of the interior. Now in the engine bay here, you can see that there's not any engine. And over here, you can actually see that the firewall for the trunk area was already cut out. So the reason that it was cut out was because of the history of this car. At one time, it had a Honda Accord 4-cylinder from an older one. So he said it was a F20 turbo pushing 400 horsepower. Then after that, at one time, it had an H22 in it. So this car has some history. Anyways, this is, what do you think about it?
So it's really, really cool. And personally, I think this is the best MR2 generation just based on pure aesthetic alone.
The best way I know how to describe it is that these remind me of the Pokemon Porygon, and I think it has a super cool like retro look that I do like.
I agree with that. But no, it's really cool. There's a lot that could be done to it, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and kind of what we talked about earlier is what to do with the car. So as I mentioned, it was given to me for free. It was just kind of on a whim. I was on Facebook, someone said, hey, got a car for sale. Look at the comments, they're like, it's actually for free. And I was like, well shoot, I'll take it because I love MR2s. I knew the car had been sitting a while, so obviously I knew I was going to have to do stuff like clean it and whatnot, but I'm just not sure what direction to take the car. I mean, what are your thoughts, Jesus? Because we can do a turbo build like a K20, or we can do a 3S.
Which engine is more readily available would be the question.
If we're talking about availability, probably the K series.
I feel like if that would probably be the way to go engine-wise. At least if it's more readily available, parts are going to be easier to get. And I would assume there's probably some stuff for it. Well, you're right. So, you know, the K series has way more support than the 3S, although the 3S has support, just not as much. But in terms of the K series in this car, I know Hux Racing makes mounts. I know they'll do a wiring harness kit or conversion, like plug and play. I don't know much else, and I do know that there have been people that have done it, so it's not like a new thing. I just think it has less support than the 3S for this. But considering it already had 2 Honda engines in it, it just kind of seemed fitting. I mean, because this was swapped like over 10 years ago. So I guess theoretically, it's probably one of like the early cars that started doing the Honda swaps. I guess it's kind of cool at the fact that it has some history there. Just in case anyone was curious, it's so dirty, mainly because this was on an open trailer. I had it just transported over to me. That was more convenient. But the paint is kind of faded like you would expect. As you guys can see up here, it's all peeling and whatnot. Probably the best thing about this car is that the chassis itself is really straight, even though it has been in an accident on the front end, and you can see where some of the damage was repaired. Well guys, definitely let me know what you think on it, because if I decide to keep the car and take on the project, it's obviously going to impact the other cars, because like I'm not a rich guy, and then the swap on the white car, which is going to get a 2GR for sure now, would end up probably costing like $8,000 to $10,000. Like as I'm budgeting everything out, assuming I pay full price and stuff like that, and me doing the work myself, then to take on both of these projects at the same time, it just wouldn't be feasible from a financial perspective. So it'd be a situation of I do this car or I do the white car. The nice thing is I own them outright, so they can kind of sit around. So I'm not really sure. And then another thing that kind of comes into play is I totally forgot that the Honda Acti is mine now. Jesus was very gracious, and as a Christmas gift gave me the van. So thanks for that. Yeah, of course. I mean, I figured better go to you than me just let it sit for longer than it should.
Well, that mixed with the fact that he wanted to put the headache onto me, but still enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be here to help if you ever need it, so there's also that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and we'll probably take him up on that offer. Although the van itself is really straight, because my plans with it is make sure it's mechanically sound, some meaty tires, and then leave it alone. I do want to do some off-roading with that. Brian, the guy that I did the window insert video, he has an area that we could possibly go to, so hopefully we do that in the next month or two. We'll see, because I think rock climbing season is during the winter months here in Oregon, so hopefully we can do that though. Well guys, we don't got much else going on, so we'll just go ahead and close out the video. Again, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next week.